Hello and welcome to another Firestorm Games unboxing, and this time we're looking at another Warhammer 40k box game. This is of course Death Masque, which sees the Aeldari harlequins facing off against the Death Watch Space Marines. This is a similar kind of box game to the previous ones we've seen, such as Stormclaw and also Deathstorm as well, where we get two factions and also a rulebook as well. However, this is slightly different in the fact that we get the debut of the Death Watch Space Marines in plastic. Now if I just flip this box over and take a look at the contents inside, we can see that we get the 40-page Death Masque campaign book. We also get Watch Captain Artemis, 10 Death Watch Space Marines, split between the jetpack veterans here and the armed foot veterans, and we also get one Death Watch Venerable Dreadnought. We also get a special character, another one. We get Eldari Ulthran, one Harlequin Death Jester, 12 Harlequins, 2 Harlequin Skyweavers, 1 Harlequin Voidweaver, and also the Warhammer 40k mini rulebook. So let's open this set up and take a look at the contents inside. So inside the box set we get the following items. First of all, we have the mini rulebook, which is pretty much the same as the one you get in the Dark Vengeance set, albeit you get a Death Watch themed cover here, but apart from that, all the other pages are identical. Next up we have the Death Masque campaign booklet, which contains some background, as well as 3 missions that you can play through, as you can see the examples for them here, before giving us some force listings. And these are full force listings for all of the miniatures that you get in this set. And first of all, we have the Death Watch there, and then we move on to the veterans and also the Vanguard veterans as well. We've got the Venerable Dreadnought and then also a Death Watch formation. We have the armory with weapons and all special issue war gear, before we move on to the force listing for the Eldari Harlequins. First of all, we have Eldari Ulthran, we have the Harlequins, the Death Jester, and also the vehicles as well. Now this brings us to the Harlequin formation at the end, which obviously consists of all of the miniatures you get in the set for each of the factions. And then we get the armory, and finally we have the psychic powers as well. So moving on, we next have some transfers for the Eldars there you can place on the Harlequin vehicles. And we also have this rather important little bit of a sheet here. Now it actually looks like there's been a bit of a mistake made in this this booklet here, which shows you how to assemble all your miniatures, because this one says to assemble them on 25mm bases. However, in the actual main instructions it says to assemble your Harlequins on 32mm bases. So I'd probably heed the warning of this little leaflet as well before you start assembling your miniatures. So this is the instruction booklet, and as you can see, everything is all nicely diagrammed. All the components are numbered as well, which makes assembly a lot easier. And everything's actually combined down into this one instruction booklet. It's not like start collecting sets that we've been seeing, where you just have loads of random bits of instruction booklets taken from different sets, but this is actually a specific one, and it obviously includes all of the Death Watch upgrades that we get in here as well. Now this brings us to the actual miniatures themselves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each of these individually. So here we have Watch Captain Artemis, and this is the main leader of the Death Watch that you'll be seeing in this game. And it is a single pose miniature, as you can see here. It's a typical kind of clan pack style miniature, but we've got some nice weapons here. We've got this combi bolter flamer, we've got the power sword, and then we've also got some nice Death Watch specific iconography just on the shoulder pads as well there. Very nice detailing as well, it's attention to detail, such as we've got the flamer actual cartridge that uses this pipe down and just attaches to the weapon there as well. So let's move on to looking at some more of the Death Watch. So this brings us to the Venerable Dreadnought sprue. Now this comes with all the standard items that we've seen in the previous Venerable Dreadnought. So we've got the different weapon options, such as the assault cannon, the twin las cannon. We've also got the plasma cannon here. We've got the underslung bolter, but we've also got the flamer on here somewhere as well. You can just about see there. And we've also got the Dreadnought close combat weapon there as well. Now as you may notice, there actually aren't any Death Watch specific iconography on this particular sprue, but there is some on a upgrade sprue that we'll be looking at in a moment. But we've also got some additional details that you can use still. So we've got these giant purity seals down at the bottom here. We've got different truces for the leg guards as well. So very nice detailed kit. One of the things I'll point out as well that you'll see going forward is the fact that all of these components are numbered, which makes life so much easier when assembling your miniatures. So let's move on to looking at more of the Death Watch miniatures. Next up we have the Vanguard Veterans, which is the same sprue as you will have already seen from other Vanguard sprues. But we've got lots of different weapons available on here. So we've got lightning claws, we've also got some lots of individual bolt pistols, plasma pistols, power swords. We've also got the thunder hammers there. We've got a melter bomb there. We've got chain swords down at the bottom, storm shields, and also more close combat weapons just down in the bottom right as well. So lots of nice iconography on these as well, very specific to the veterans. However, it's not anything on here which is actually Deathwatch specific, and this is where the secondary sprue comes in. So if we bring in this sprue here, you can see that it's equipped with some shoulder pads. You get 10 shoulder pads on here for normal Space Marines, but we also get two Terminator shoulder pads as well. We also get a Deathwatch blade as well, some vehicle iconography that you can use on your Dreadnought, and also a couple of helmets as well. This one being one that you could use on a commander or a leader, for example. So that's the Vanguard sprue. Let's move on to looking at the veterans. So here we have the Deathwatch Veteran sprue, which is the sprue that everyone probably wants to see the most of. This comes absolutely full of Deathwatch specific components. We've got the bolters here, the Stalker pattern bolters that come with the silencers that attach over the end. We've got Deathwatch specific torsos. You can see there these little slots where you can attach your bandoliers to, just to show that your Deathwatch veterans are ready for anything. We've also got lots of different specialist weapons. So we've got the Combi Heavy Bolter Flamer there. We've got Storm Shields. We've got Power Mauls. We've got Power Swords. Lots of different shoulder pads to choose from. You can see more bolters down at the bottom. We've also got a shotgun there, and just scanning along, we've got the melter gun there, and also some more power swords just on the bottom. We've also got some power two-handed thunder hammers as well. And as well, they've got this really nice little Catan kind of phase blade here. You see this Necron detailing just on the blade there as well. It kind of denotes these guys' use of alien technology where necessary. And this brings us to the chapter-specific shoulder pads that you can see along here. We've got lots of different the main chapters represented along these. This is because the Deathwatch veterans are drawn from all of the other chapters, and they're allowed to bear their chapter-specific iconography in addition to their black armor. So lots of fantastic detailing on here, lots of different weapons that you can mix and match between your veterans and also your vanguards and any other kits that you want to expand into in the future. So let's move on to the Aeldar. So we'll be starting things off by looking at the Aldrad Ulthran, and much like Captain Artemis, this is the only way you can actually pick up these miniatures at the moment through Death Masque. Now this miniature is obviously a typical kind of clan pack fashion, however unlike Captain Artemis you do get a small amount of variation in the weapon options. So for example, you can either choose to use the Witchblade that we've got here, or you can have the open hand there instead, so you do get a slight amount of variation. Now one of the things I like about this is the fact that the head is a separate item, and with it being quite ornate as you can see there, it's good to keep these things separate for painting and such. So yes, very nice miniature overall, typical kind of Farseer, but enough to make it stand out from the other Farseers that are currently available. So let's move on to look at some of the Harlequins. And here we have the Death Jester, and as you can see it comes in this single clan pack sprue that we've got here. There's a miniature is complete with skull iconography, as you can see just on the tassels there, the mask itself on the belt, and then we've also got the fearsome looking Shrieker cannon as well. Now it's also mounted on this rubble pile, as you can see here. It's very, very similar in fact to the Aldrad Ulthran's base as well, so it fits really nicely in with that styling. So with the Death Jester looked at, let's move on to some of the other Harlequins. Next up we have the Harlequins themselves, and every sprue that I look at here we actually get 2 of in the box, and each sprue allows you to make 6 Harlequins, so you get 12 Harlequins altogether. Now these sprues come with lots of different weapon options, so we've got the close combat weapon blades here, the swords of various shapes and styles. There's more of a katana here, and we've got more of these kind of cutlass shaped blades as well. We've also got some ranged weapons. We've got this Neuro Disruptor, we've also got some Harlequin's Kiss, we've got some Harlequin's Caress there, and lots of shuriken pistols and various other weapons as well. Now one of the things I really like about the sprue is the fluidity that's imposed in the miniatures by the fact they're kind of balancing on these little bits of ruin. You can see they're jumping off and almost as they're performing leaps and pirouettes in the midair. This is the second sprue that we get here, which gives you some options for your troop leader. You can see we've got some more power weapons here, a larger, more ornate cloak here to attach to the back of one of them, as well as some maned heads that we've got here as well. Now littered about the sprues are these masks themselves. You can see them just there. There's quite a few on here. If I just go back to the original sprue, you can see even more various different faces, and I've got a skull face there, more natural looking Eldar faces as well. So lots of different options to choose from when building up your troop. So that's the Harlequins themselves looked at. Let's move on to some of the vehicles. So next up we have the Skyweaver bikes, and these are spread out over 3 sprues. We've got the 2 sprues here, and then the third and final sprue just over here as well. And these can be combined to make 2 Skyweavers in total. Now each Skyweaver bike has 2 occupants. It has a pilot and also a rider, and you can see all of the components here that go into making them. Now we also have a couple of weapon options for the riders. So we've got these glaives here and these, I think they're called bowlers. But if you want to benefit from the formation rules in the Death Masque campaign book, you'll have to equip them with these glaives. Equally, the jet bikes will have to be equipped with just the shuriken cannon that you've got here. Although if you wanted to, you could probably quite easily magnetize these out. Now spread across the miniatures are these faces. We've got these larger ones here, but we've also got these smaller masks as well that you can see at the bottom. So you have quite a collection of these by the time you've finished assembling your bikes, and also the harlequins as well, which is great if you want to use them in scenery pieces, for example. So that's the Skyweavers looked at. Let's move on to the last vehicle in this set. So here we have the Voidweaver sprue. Now whilst the formation rules do require you assemble a Voidweaver, you can still assemble a Starweaver using all the components on the sprue, as this sprue is identical to the one, the existing one that we've already seen. Now the main actual hull comes in a single piece, which is great because it means that everything just attaches to it. It gives you a really nice framework to build on. And if you just want to paint this as a single piece by clipping it off here and painting it separately, it's great for getting those intricate detailing that the harlequins go for. Now one of the great things about this is if you actually assemble it as a Voidweaver, it does actually give you an extra crew member, as the Voidweaver is more heavily armed but less heavily crewed. So you actually get an extra harlequin that you could actually probably use on foot, or you could just attach as a magnetizer and swap between the two variants. So you can see here everything's really nicely detailed. I've got all the different weapon options available to the Voidweaver and also the Starweaver as well. I've got the bowler there, I've got swords, and I've also got the glaive there as well. So that's it for all of the plastic sprues within Death Masque. Let's get an overall summary for this box set. So that concludes our look at Death Masque, and overall it really is a fantastic box set on a multitude of different levels. First of all, you get these two unique independent characters you can't actually get in any other box set. You can't get them in separately either, so the only way you get them is by picking up Death Masque. You also get everything you need to actually kind of get playing as well. You've got your mini rulebook, you've got your unit formations. The only thing you really need is some dice and a tape measure to be playing the missions that are featured in the campaign book. The box is also a great debut for the new Deathwatch miniatures that we'll be seeing more of in the coming weeks as well. So really great miniatures that we've seen here, really fantastic sculpts, lots of different options on those sprues, perfect for the elite soldiers that the Deathwatch obviously are. But probably one of the biggest pros about this game is its price. The amount you actually save by picking this box up as opposed to picking everything up individually is phenomenal. First of all, if you were to pick up all of these Aeldar, the Harlequins, and also Eldrad Ulthuan equivalent, you'd be looking to spend around about £125, and for the Deathwatch you're looking at about £90. So that's a total of over £215, and you're not even including the rulebook or the campaign booklet that you get in here either. So straight away, a retail price of £95 really is an excellent saving. It's great if you're a current Eldar collector and you want to kind of bolster your forces, or if you want to get started with the Deathwatch, you can split it with a friend and really save yourself some money. But you can save yourself even more money by heading on over to the Firestorm Games web store, where we've got it for 10% off the retail price, which means you can pick it up for £85.50. And I'll pop a link in the description below, which will take you directly to there. Now, if you enjoyed this unboxing, please do let us know in the comments below, and also be sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all of our future videos. And until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.